Hi, today we are going to go over how to do some releases through the sinuses and the forehead and the ears because I'm not sure if you can tell, if you can hear, but I currently have a head cold and I'm on I think the tail end of it, but as you can probably hear, I do have a decent amount of congestion. And so these techniques are what I am going to be doing quite a bit over the next couple of days because it can really, really help to open up all the sinus pathways and help clear the congestion. And so I hope that now that we are going into the fall season, I'm currently doing this in October. It's about prime time for all of that stuff to be happening for people. So hopefully this will be helpful for you through this cold and flu season. So this video is going to concentrate on opening up this sinus area right here. So I know that a lot of times when people have sinus congestion, they get really sore and tender right in this area, and you could feel like your nose is just kind of just completely stuffed up. You can't get a breath through your nose. It makes it really hard to sleep. All of those kind of things. So this technique is very, very simple, but very effective. And so you can't see it, but I have a table sitting in front of me here. So my suggestion for this technique, the way that I think that it works the best, is to sit at a desk or a table and be able to put your elbows on that table so that your arms can rest. And then you're going to put 2 fingers on either side of your nose, and then you are going to very gently push lightly inwards just so that you're able to sink into the tissues and so that your fingers are not going to slide when we very lightly pull them apart. So we're essentially pushing in and then pulling our fingers apart, but without sliding on our skin. So you want to sink in deep enough, but it's not pushing hard. It's kind of just letting your fingers just melt into your tissues here until you feel a little bit of resistance, and then you're going to lightly pull them apart from each other again until you feel that resistance. So you're not pulling as hard as you can. You don't want anything shaking, like your fingers shaking, anything like that. This should be really comfortable because you're going to be holding this for at least 3 minutes, but I would suggest more like 5 minutes. And so once you are in this position, that's all you do. You sit. I would suggest closing your eyes. You can put on some nice music in the background and allow yourself to just settle into this. And then as you'll feel around 2 to 3 minutes, or maybe even sooner, but you will feel your fingers, even though they're not sliding on your skin, you'll feel them start to go apart from each other even more. And that is the tissues opening in the fascial system. And so go ahead, and when that happens, just take up that slack until you get back to a point where you feel a little bit of tension. You feel like you've hit kind of the barrier there, and then again settle into that. And you will continue to feel these releases as you go through your 3 to 5 minute hold. And if you have any pain, or if you're feeling like this is really worsening your symptoms, especially if you're in the middle of experiencing a cold or sinus congestion or anything like that, don't do it. If you really sit and think to your body and think to yourself, is this therapeutic pain? Is this feeling because things are coming up and things are releasing and this is good? Or is this just not a good time for me to be doing this? So that could be the case, and maybe wait a day or two and then try this again. But I hope that this is helpful for, especially if you have sinus congestion, but it is a wonderful release for just about any time because you'll notice that it actually feels really good to open up those airways. So as always, just remember, you are the only one that knows how you feel. So listen to your body, and I hope that you enjoy this release.